What's going on, everybody? I got Tyler Lindenmuth from Tyler's Toxic Balls on the show, and we're only 3 sleeps away from Tinley. It's time. Let's get to it tonight. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. The live audience, the replay audience, glad to have you. Thanks for coming back for more every week. I'm humbled by that. Brought to you ad-free by Palm Street, all proper. You think I know how to say my brand name by now. All Proper Royals live content is brought to you ad-free these days by Palm Street. They will be at Tinley. If you want to find out more, go check them out. If you don't know what Palm Street is, it's a live selling platform. You can sell in real time from whatever place you want, whether it be your facility. You can have whatever creative presentation you want. It's pretty cool, fully integrated sales platform that welcomes reptiles, which is pretty rare these days. So go check them out. Thanks for all the support to Palm Street. And like I say, if you're going to Tinley, go check them out. Tyler from Tyler's Toxic Balls is back on the show. I can't believe it. I looked today. It's been 2 years. I was thinking it'd been like a year and a half, maybe. November 2023 was the last time Tyler was on the show. So we got a little catching up to do. So I'm excited to have Tyler. I'll tell you more about Tyler here in a minute. Keep your eyes and ears open on the old Instagrams and socials and that sort of thing. Tomorrow, there's a really big announcement related to one of the Proper Royals advertisers and longtime supporters, shedtesting.com. There's a new evolution coming, new offering coming, and there will be a press release tomorrow. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true, and it's worthy of such a thing. And then Thursday morning, there's going to be a special episode of Proper Royals. I don't know what to call it. It's a Proper Royals live style, but we've actually already recorded it, so I know what's in there. That will air Thursday morning with all of the details. Some information will start to trickle out tomorrow, and then you can get the full story, the full scoop, the full insight on Thursday morning. And that'll be right here on the Proper Royals channel. So be sure to check that out, okay? Massive thanks to Charlie at Shed Testing. Amazing to see everything he's got going on. And he's been kind enough to sort of take me along for the ride along the way. And I was happy to be able to be hosting the sort of unveiling episode. So again, Thursday morning, that will be out. Check that out. If you have any interest in anything I do, go to properroyals.com. First, just because you should go check it out, I think. But secondly, and like I say, on Friday morning, I head out to Tinley. I have the weekend off after that. And then October 25th, I'm off to Fargo, North Dakota for a show there. And then on Sunday, the 26th, the very next day, if you're counting, I'll be back in the Minneapolis Twin Cities metro in a town called Hastings, Minnesota for the Snake Discovery Show. I'm saying all that because I'm taking all of my inventory with me and I'm happily trying to sell it all. I'm not saying I'm selling my stock. I'm saying my inventory that is for sale. So if you want something and you're not going to be at any of those shows, you should check out properroyals.com because the inventory is there. If you don't get something that you like or you don't see something that you like, have no fear. There are 11 clutches still in the incubator and a couple females still to lay right behind me there. So there is more stuff coming, but I'm hoping the inventory I have, I can blow through it. Okay. So hit me up. What's up, Sammy? We got Dale. Dustin, I'm not sure if I've seen you before or not. Thank you for being here and checking it out. I hope to see you come back again. Sammy and Dale and Aurora, newest Proper Royals Patreon member, also from Minnesota. Nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. Tyler's Toxic Balls. If you've been around the ball python industry and the reptile industry, I suppose Proper Royals, because he has been on the show before, you should be aware of Tyler. If you're not, you'll meet him tonight. And I'll let him tell a story, because there's always like this patronizing angle when like the old dude that's going bald is like, this young whippersnapper. Like, I'm not going to be the old dude, be like, this great young mind. But he's literally been doing this since he was a kid. And I often say that the best thing about our industry is that everybody did something else before they came here. Not Tyler. This is what he's done. It's what he does. And I love talking with him. We talk a lot behind the scenes and bounce ideas off of each other. And it's always great food for thought, always great to hang out with him and to get ideas and insights and to do business with him. So why don't I end the awkward thing where I talk about the person in the green room while they can hear me, and I just bring them on and we do the show. How about that? Welcome back to the Proper Royal stage. Tyler Lindenmuth from Tyler's Toxic Balls. Tyler, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on tonight, man.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for being here. I didn't tell the audience, but I'll tell them now. When we were setting up and AV testing, I was like, we can't start talking because we'll just do a whole show before we do a show. So
yeah.
I do enjoy hanging out with you. It's good. I feel like it hasn't been that long since we've hung out, but I can't believe it. I looked, it was November of 2023 when you were on the show last time.
That's nuts. I didn't feel like it was that long either. I think yesterday you were like, it's been a year and a half. I was like, that seems about right.
That's what it felt like, right? I don't know. And it doesn't really matter, other than I sort of feel bad I haven't had you on. You've definitely been working and doing the business. There's nothing wrong with doing the hobby, but you've been doing the business of it. For people that maybe weren't here 2 years ago or don't know you or aren't familiar, and I know you do a lot of these, so I know you've told your story. You don't have to tell it too much, but I love the story. So give a little, take a moment, introduce yourself, and tell us about yourself.
Yeah, man. I am Tyler Lindenmuth from Tyler's Toxic Balls. Started, getting ball pythons when I was, 7, 8 years old, just, as pets. Kept growing that up, getting more pets. Me and my dad, he loves snakes. He's my partner in this. When I was 11 or 12, I got my first clutches, and pretty much since then just continued to, breed more stuff, buy more stuff, and founded Tyler's Toxic Balls in like 2019, and have been doing it full-time out of school for a little bit over a year now. So it's kind of all I do. And then recently, start of this year, January, started a rodent company, Regional Rodent Distributors, or Fuzzy Acres. So started that in February, and that's also full-time snakes and rodents.
Just because I mean it as an impressive compliment and not a old patronizing thing. How old are you now, if you don't mind sharing?
20. I turned 21 in January.
It's amazing. Congratulations, man. I think it's phenomenal. And I forget that in a good way talking to you. We just talk like peers and hang out and talk business. What you've learned and grown and become, and the thing is, you already have way more experience than almost anybody ever gets, because by the time they get the experience that you have, they've already quit and moved on. So again, congratulations on all of that. Can you talk a little bit about your, and I don't remember the details, but I also like the story of this. You talked about being done with school not too long ago. Can you talk about your sort of school journey, your education journey? And I remember being struck by that the last time 2 years ago when you were sort of piecing it together, and now here you are having seen it through.
Oh, 100%. So I was never a great student, pretty much all the way through high school. I wanted to do snakes, kind of that was the end all be all for me. So, kind of barely got through high school, didn't want to go to college, was like, this is what I'm doing. And then towards right the end of my senior year, I think I realized that I wasted, I think, a lot of time, things I could have learned in school. So decided to enter a business and entrepreneurship school founded by Tom Golisano in Rochester. He's a Rochesterian billionaire who started a company called Paychex, which is second largest payroll processing and HR company in the world. So he started up a business and entrepreneurship school a month after I graduated high school. So I was one of the first 40 students accepted into the school. It was kind of a startup risk thing to get into. No one had graduated.
Yeah.
So got into that right out of high school. It was a 2-year program, all year round, 4 quarters a year. Stuck with that up until about quarter 5 of the school, and got the opportunity to purchase a rodent company that I used to work for, and used kind of everything that I learned out of that school, took over the rodent company, and have been doing the snakes and rats full time since last September.
What was the structure of the school like? It sounds like it doesn't sound like a university or a college setting. And then a few of the things that you've thrown out just conversationally when you and I have spoken, I mean, you were talking about pitches to investors, pitch competitions.
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like I want to go sign up. Like, tell me about that experience, man.
Yeah, it was probably the best decision I have ever made. It's a all year round school. Like I said, every single class there, 4 classes a quarter. Every single thing is business oriented. There's entrepreneurship 1 through 4, accounting classes, marketing classes, specific sales classes, coding classes. So they talk to a ton of different companies and businesses, mainly in Rochester, but all across the country, for like employer skills that they really enjoy, that their employees to have. So coding was a big one. So there was a couple coding classes. And so class was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And on Wednesday, they would do something called speaking from experience. So they would bring in business owners from across the country, startups, all the way up to like the founder of Domino's, Tom Monahan. And, not the founder, but the CEOs of Kodak and, all these huge companies would come in every Wednesday, do kind of a 1-hour talk, 1-hour Q&A, and then kind of hang out at the school for a little bit for just the students to pick their brain. And then they also ran a lot of different, competitions. So I was a part of a few business pitch competitions to some investors, some outside influences as well. Like Tom, we did a pitch competition with all the students in the school. I placed in the top 3, and then the winners of that got to do a pitch to Tom Golisano, and actually the people who run his venture capital fund that he runs as well. So yeah, it was a crazy experience. The people I got to meet, the things I got to learn. And I'm still very close with a lot of the people there. So the students from the school are actually supposed to be coming and touring my rodent facility in about a month.
Nice.
So that's going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, I tell them all the time, I don't think I'd be doing, I'd probably still be doing the snakes, but I definitely wouldn't be doing the rodent aspect of my business without that school, because the big leap into it was actually from one of the business pitch competitions, is where I hammered on the numbers, looked at, all of the things that you need to look at to really go forward in a business. And afterwards, me and my dad sat down and went, "Are these real?" I was like, "Yep." And we jumped on it. So
did you, and maybe this might not be anybody's business, mine included. Did you gain investors from those pitches, or were there opportunities for some VC to come in there? Or, like I say, is that just something that maybe isn't good to delve into?
So from winning, they actually had cash prizes when you win. So we got actually some money from me doing pretty good at those competitions. The school would give you some money. They'd go, "Just tell me what you're spending it on, and go from there. I think I
Mhm.
bought a rack or something,
Oh, cool.
a rack and a couple snakes with the money, and was like,
All right.
there you go.
Yeah.
And other than that, not actually, maybe I have someone at the school who is interested in investing. We're kind of still working through some of the details, but yeah, it's
So
pretty.
let me ask in a different way then. What's your, I think most people, rightly so, I think it's a good thing to be cautious or weary of debt. Investment is one thing. There's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is there's somebody that wants their money back plus a lot more, right? So you don't seem taken aback, bothered. You don't seem risk averse to considering that option. Can you talk a little bit about that mindset?
Yeah. I think the big thing for me on debt is being, you just got to know your numbers. And that was like one thing at the school they hammered. And, at the start I was like, okay, like, do I really have to do all these, accounting classes and all this stuff? But now it's like, okay, it really does make sense to know, your cost per square foot, like all the things you need to know. And so when someone does go, hey, I want to give you, X amount of dollars, or you take out a loan or anything, you can go back and go, okay, it's going to take 6 months to generate enough money to pay it back, or however long it is, to feel comfortable with it. And I'm a lot more risk adverse, I think, than a lot of other people.
Okay.
So just, I know my numbers, even than my dad, right? I'm not going to say we butt heads all the time, but it's like, hey, I know all these, things. And I'm very confident that if we take an X amount of money, we can pay it back in X amount of time, right? Just from knowing exactly what, we're producing rodent wise, the market for it, and all the things, the margins, everything.
I don't really have a question more than just a comment on this, but like it drives me bonkers. And I mean, I had to learn this stuff by going to work for somebody, and in retrospect, it got me to where I'm at. But at the other point, I would have rather been working for myself, learning all of that stuff. Now, I might not have made as much, and honestly, I might not have gotten to where I'm at. So I can't really even complain about it. But I am frustrated that a lot of that business acumen and accounting, taxes, even understanding something like a cost of goods inventory system isn't taught in a high school track, at least as an opportunity for it. And there's so little of that. And I don't get it. It boggles my mind that is not part of a curriculum. Maybe not every person's curriculum, but a curriculum.
I don't know if you want to get me going down this track, because I can talk about this.
Let it rip. No, I do want to get, I mean,
but no, I 100% agree. I think that every single person I've talked to, including, one of the employees I have at my rodent facility, or people in high school, people who I know who are about to graduate college and they don't know exactly what they're going to do, I tell them, especially this school, go to this school, right? I think that, and people might not look at it the same way, this entire country runs off of business, small business, mainly, but their business skills, and more importantly, their life skills, things you should learn just to help yourself, whether you work for yourself or go work for someone else. It makes you a more valuable employee.
Right.
It helps your family, your community, anything, to know, how the world works, because the world runs on business. So if you don't understand some simple, business acumen, then you're going to get left behind just doing your day-to-day life.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for Tyler, but it's frustrating because it's not complicated. Like, we learn the quadratic equation in 9th grade, but we don't learn cost over revenue can be a labor percentage or a cost of goods, or, I mean, and it's addition, it's money in and money out, multiplication and division. I mean, I do use algebra, but not beyond those functions. And to this day, I can remember, fearing for my life because I couldn't get my head around a quadratic equation that I can't even look my son in the eye and tell him, yeah, you need to give a damn about this. I just need him to care enough to pass the test,
100%. Like I struggle with, looking back, a lot of the, high school things that, I had to do, and I get it. I had to do them. Right. I think that's one part about high school is you just got to do stuff you might not want to do.
Yeah, you learn how to get through stuff. And I'm not against a well-rounded education. I'm against not including this stuff in a well-rounded education.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part. I know, actually, I don't know if it's fully public yet, and I guess it doesn't really matter for most people here, I guess, except for local people like Patrick. But the school I went to is opening a second school in New York. And they're looking to open multiple other branches. Mainly, they're going to be doing some stuff, I think, in Florida. Mm-hmm. That's where Tom lives the other 6 months of the year now. But
gotcha.
I think schools like that are super important. And eventually, just getting that sort of stuff at least into a God, I don't even remember what they call it, but in high school, you can pick whatever 3 classes you want to take a year. Mm-hmm. Make one of them, one of those tracks that you take for your kind of 3 years, a business track, right? So I took sports marketing business class in high school, but that's really all they did was
at least they had that, yeah.
Yeah. So I love that class. It was a sports marketing class, and they did your basic personal accounting is mandatory in all high schools here at least, but
that's good.
Add some more stuff like that into the schools would be very, very productive, I think.
Yeah, and I again, not to go just down a rabbit hole of complaining, but I mean, I remember so in my career I led large teams. My title was generally director, but at resort operations at large scale, and we would have people that wanted to get into management and leadership that were very smart, very driven, very determined people. And I can remember first the day one class of, hey, we're just going to call revenue money in and money out. So you got money in and you're going to call your costs. We're going to call that money out. We're going to call that C. We're going to call it R. And like, I could give that lecture off the top of my head because it's not difficult, but I had to talk people through that. But then also other things, you're talking about personal finance and accounting. Most people don't understand the value of compound interest until they're like mid 30s and they're like, ugh. I wish I'd known that when I was 20, because you could have chopped off your working years in half if you got the early start, So anyway, if anybody is interested or whatever in that stuff, I can at least point you in the right direction. I can't just give classes to everybody, but maybe I'll make a YouTube video or something. It drives me nuts that there's just like some basic things that aren't covered. I do have to do one basic thing and say thanks to Keeper Kane. Thanks for the $5, man. That'll keep some lights on. So ad free by Palm Street and Keeper Kane. Look at that right there. Little sneak peek into the future. Kane will have a spot up on the top banner there coming in November, but we'll keep that quiet for right now. He's still hanging out on Thursday mornings on the top row for right now, the rest of the month. So, okay, enough with the complaints and we got this and not that. What have you done with it? Tell us about this Fuzzy Acres rodent distribution. That sounds like a name somebody could come up with if they wanted to sound like they were doing big things. But then also there could be another person that goes, well, yeah, I dialed up 1,000 rodents coming my way from 1,500 miles away. So talk about this distribution stuff and what in the world you're doing with all of these rodents and maybe even why. Talk a little bit to the why.
Yeah. So long story short, it kind of, the whole rodent breeding thing started, I think, in 2021. We purchased a large collection of ball pythons. We were buying rodents from Fuzzy Acres, which I used to work for when I was 13 to get.
Oh, it's pre-existing. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So, Fuzzy Acres had been in business 15 years. And when I was 13, I worked there, scraped rat bins and did all the stuff to get cheaper food for the snakes. But in 2021, we purchased a collection of 200 and some odd ball pythons and realized, like, hey, buying the frozen rodents, especially at the cost he was going at, was not sustainable. So we started breeding rats in our garage. In a few months, we realized that's not going to work. We got a 12 by 32 barn out back and started doing that. Produced enough for ourselves and enough for small local sales, here and there. And towards the end of, and this kind of ran about a year and a half in that barn. And towards the end of that time, Fuzzy Acres was really, really scaling back. And there were two other decent-sized rodent breeders in Buffalo and Syracuse, New York, which are about an hour east and an hour west of us.
Okay.
And both of those companies closed their doors within 6 months. So there was kind of a vacuum of no rodent producers in a local area anymore.
Good opportunity, yeah.
And kind of us and our 12 by 32 shed at that point were the biggest, rodent producer in the nearest, 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
So we were getting hounded for, rats all the time. And I was telling a dozen people a week, like, I can't do anything, try. Patrick was, one of them. Hey, go, call Patrick. He lives 40 minutes away from me. See what he's got. And it was eating at me pretty bad because I got, 300-400 snakes. So I know, like, you got to get them fed, and
Yep.
going to Country Max and paying, $7 for a medium rat really isn't great. So after a little bit of that happening, and this was coinciding with me, obviously, at the Institute, I did this pitch. It took about a month to get ready, and I changed my plan from doing a pitch about my snakes to a pitch about rodents. The big reason for that was at the school, they were talking about companies and scalability, reoccurring revenue, like all these very important things for, a business. And I went, a lot of that does not apply to the snakes. You know what
Right.
it applies to? My rats that I have in my barn. So I spent, a month doing this whole pitch competition on what would happen if I had a larger rodent production, and did it. It went amazing. And right around then is when me and my dad realized, hey, maybe we should do something like this. And I called up the only guy I knew who had done something similar to what we were going to do, Ryan from Fuzzy Acres. And we had a meeting with him, and he kind of casually brought up that he was thinking about getting out. And in about a month, this was, there's a lot that went into it. Actually, we were going to put a almost 4,000 square foot facility on our property. The town didn't love that. So, we had to cancel that plan, and we scrambled. That was in November. So all of December, we were looking for commercial space, and Ryan's deal came up in December as well. So from November to December, we scrapped our plan to build a large facility on our property, kind of made a deal with Ryan to purchase his company. And
now it's Fuzzy Acres.
That was Fuzzy Acres.
And was that, and I guess, am I assuming right that was already established as a commercial outfit, and it had the good standing with the town, and you already had those things made,
very
grandfathered in, so to speak.
Very good. I think again that he had a customer list a mile long. He was still selling a lot of rodents. One of the big contracts he had was actually for the Buffalo Zoo. It's a pretty large zoo near us, and they've bought rodents from him every single month for 13 years straight, right? So for us to be able to get that as an outside, person, it would be impossible, right? So that was huge, getting his customer list, his inventory, his racks, all that stuff. And also in January, I don't know if anyone knows, Eric from Exotic Designs Reptiles sold his ball pythons. and we actually purchased his whole rodent collection. So in 2 months, we went from a 32 by 12 shed in the back to a 7,500 square foot warehouse in the city. Purchased 2 collections of rats, brought our stuff in, and kind of exploded in February is when we moved in.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
No, I know, but like, and I'm not looking for like specifics here. I'm looking more of just like, what's the mindset and there's got to be some experience in this. And I'm curious if that's from your dad or from mentors, or like, you can't just go like buying 7,500 square foot buildings and existing businesses and 200 snakes. They're like, that stuff all costs money. You can have all the drive in the world. But you got to have some kind of help with it. And I'll just leave it open-ended there. Talk a little bit about that. Where does that, how does all that play together?
I mean, huge part obviously is my parents. So when I was going through high school and they both sat down and we talked and realized like, hey, college kind of isn't my plan. Right. Mm-hmm. Their idea was, hey, this is the snakes are what he really loves to do. And dad loves it too. So how about we put, instead of, paying for college, let's, invest in what his real future is going to be. So actually,
that's a really cool, I'm glad you shared that. That's a really cool outlook. Like, parents wouldn't think twice of X amount for college, but people might say, well, what are you doing buying all this? So that's a really good point. That's the same money to help you grow and to advance you in life and dreams and hopes. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like I would not be doing anything without my parents and their support. But that happened in kind of 2021. We purchased the collection, fast forward till the rodent kind of aspect was a mix of a lot of things. My influences from school, mentors, they're really, again, hounding the numbers, talking strategy, talking to mentors and, people like you in the reptile industry, like, hey, does this make sense? Should I do it? All these things, taking all of that and going. And actually the funniest part was usually I'm pitching dad on these things, right? Mm-hmm. My mom was there and watched the rodent business pitch competition. And apparently I didn't know this until a couple weeks ago. I sold her, right? So on their drive home that day, apparently she was talking to dad like, oh, does that make sense? He was like, yeah, makes sense. And she went, how do we do that? Right.
Yeah.
So they've always just been super supportive. That they believe, in trust in me to do these things. And I would not be doing anything really without them and their trust for me to, be successful.
Well, for what it's worth, your dad hopefully will watch this episode or I'll see him next week. But like, as an entrepreneur, you inspire me. As a dad, that story inspires me. So it's pretty cool to hear. And is how much of does he help with operations? How much of the operations, decisions, physical work, all that?
Everything. So he's still got I don't know, I guess we could call it part-time now. So he was the vice president of a plastic injection mold making company here in Rochester, and recently went, 4 days a week instead of 5 days a week, and cut his hours a bit to go part-time so we could focus, more on the rodent business. But he does everything. Updates, helps update morph market, clean snakes, cleans rats, builds rodent racks, everything, right? Yeah. It's at this point, it's kind of a full family effort. Mom's actually now coming into the rodent facility on occasion.
If she signed off on it, she better get in there, right?
Yeah. So she's been helpful actually putting down rats, and she's the one sorting them by weights, bagging them, throwing in the freezer. My brother now is kind of working with me part-time, and even my grandfather's in there helping build racks a couple times a week. So it's a whole family ordeal now. It's crazy.
I'm sure it's crossed your mind. I'm sure I'm not like breaking any intellectual ground here. If your dad's got the injection mold manufacturing insight, what are you doing hacking away at building racks, man? Why don't you? I mean, there's got to be a sweeter spot there than maybe. What am I thinking? What am I missing here?
No, you're right on track, and trust me, you're not the first person at all. To ask that. Actually, at Tinley last year, he talked to Brian at ARS. He talked to Ryan, who used to own the company, 6 years, same thing. Everyone has the same question. The big thing about it is cost.
Sure.
To make, again, just a simple mold for a bin like this, and he does only plastic injection stuff, right? So he could make your bins, and I mean, technically, he could make like the tubing for the racks, and his company. Right. His company does, lids for like diaper stuff, right? Like the flip open lids, mini M&M tops, all that stuff, right? To make a mold to print a 70 tub would cost about $500,000 to make, and however many cents to run to print out your tub. So the big thing that he says is you would have to be able to sell hundreds and hundreds of thousands of units a year to make it worth it.
Yes. Also, yeah. Even if you got $10 a tub, you'd have to sell 50,000 of them. And yeah.
And his other thing is his company's mainly focused on nowadays, medical equipment and stuff like that. So it's all US steel, country made stuff. If you went and got, again, like Brian does at ARS, they're all overseas molds, which are quarter the cost. Again, they don't last as long. They're a lot rougher around the edges, but quarter the cost to run the same kind of thing. They're whatever. So,
well, and you can get in the game with that and then improve if you want once you have the cash flow from it. How about we go at it this way then? Yeah. Like, let's pick apart. Let's do the little exercise. Not so much the not so much the manufacturing. Why not just buy from, since we like ARS? Why not just buy from ARS? What's a Rodent 75 rack landed? 3,000, $3,500, $4,000?
Yeah, between $3,000 and $3,500.
Okay, let's call it 3,500. Yeah. So. I feel, and I could be wrong, you might have the design down, but I feel like that's always going to be more efficient space-wise, dollar per square foot or cubic foot or however we want to look at it. I think you could fit more rodents in the same space in one of their racks versus a rack that you're building out of wood. And this is like what you did in school, where did you fall on still producing your own racks in-house versus buying one?
It's a mix of a lot of things, right? First off is obviously upfront cash to buy the racks.
It's true. You got to have the $3,000. Yeah.
We pump out those racks about $800 to $900 a rack.
And they hold, I'm sorry. So for the $800-900, what kind of rack are you getting?
So it's 3 wide, 8 tall all together. So it's 24 bins a rack, concrete mixer bins too.
Okay. So bigger. Oh, it's so big. All right. So you got a big rack there. We're not talking the 10 tubs. We're talking concrete tubs.
Yep. Okay. Concrete tubs, 24 per. And I actually did this yesterday. We have it pretty spec pretty well. So the ARS racks we have some ARS racks, some free to breeder racks. The ones we use for breeding are the 55s or the 50s. It's one or the other. You're saving enough space. I don't know if this will make sense. When you get 6 of our racks in, technically you could fit 7 full ARSs, right? So it's not, the way we have them built is pretty good, space efficient. So I would need, again, whatever it is, 7 times 3,500, it's whatever, 22.5.
Yeah.
Right. Compared to 800 times 6. And we're not really losing too much bin space. eventually, again, you're right. Once we kind of like you said with the mold thing, once we get our revenue, our profit, all this stuff up enough, yep, we'll replace them. But honestly, for right now, they are way more cost effective and
Yeah.
do the same thing. When I have the money and it goes, okay, I can fit whatever 32 extra bins in this same space, but it's going to cost me an extra 15 grand.
Right.
How quick can I make can I make that 15 grand off of those 32 bins?
Yeah, it's a 4x problem. And I meant that question genuinely, not so much as to my point that you should or shouldn't do this, but I also and thanks for going through that. I say a lot of times, sometimes good enough is good enough just to get started. The old, if you wait for perfection, you're never going to get started. If you're looking for the perfect scenario, you're not going to go. So it drives me nuts sometimes when I hear people say, well, you got to buy the best stuff from the start. You're never going to get anywhere because you're going to go broke. I mean, that was your example right there. If you could come up with $4,500, let's say ballpark, and now you got to put the elbow grease in it and maybe buy granddad a couple beers, but you got to do that. But you could do that with $5,000 versus the 22.5 that maybe you have to take a loan or you put it on your credit card because you get excited and you got good credit, but you're still accumulating the interest on it. No, I appreciate it. I think that was a great exercise. And that's why people ask, what backdrop should I buy? I'm like, I don't know. I still use these pop-up banners for $100. And when I burn them out, I get another one. And sometimes good enough is good enough, especially if the product can still be really that genuinely doesn't really affect the product. Your cleaning is going to affect how the product being the rodent. At the end of the day, if the product is still good, get where you need to be till the money comes in. Then then if you want a Lamborghini, go get a Lamborghini. Otherwise,
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, I guess it's the same with, the ARS racks, but we have the racks built where we can go, okay, yep, we want to add another row wide, 3 rows taller. We know, what it's going to be, what it's going to cost. And again, we can build them 15 high if we want to, because our ceilings are 20-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
Right? You can do the same thing, I guess, for, your ARS racks, but that's a few $100 a level, right?
Right. Yeah. And this is not me knocking ARS. I use ARS. That is an ARS rack, and I love it. That's not me knocking ARS whatsoever. And some of the things too, I don't have the insight on rat production. I only mess around with ASF production. Yeah. But there's been some times where you and I have been talking, and we'll talk for 20, 30 minutes, and then just end with one sentence where rodent math sucks, man. I still figuring a rodent math is that's right up there with calculus, man. Rodent math is a disaster.
Dude, I hate it. I actually had a customer about a month ago go, all right, how many ASF colonies do I need to be able to produce and feed 50 large ASFs a week to my collection? I went, I have no idea. I'll tell you, I can almost tell your rats. ASFs, I'll have to refer them to you.
I mean, I can get you there, but nobody's going to like the answer, because to get your large ASFs, it's going to take you 2 months. So you have to have 2 months of production that you're not touching along the way and that lives along the way, which means 2 months of production that you're not touching. You need 10x of what you actually need to keep in-house.
Yeah, that's my problem with ASFs,
Well, and it's hard when you have customers come and they're like, do you have 200 mediums? I'm like, hell yeah, I got 200 mediums. Oh, whoops, hang on, I need 50 larges in 2 more weeks, and so it's still something I'm working out. And thankfully and now I have the luxury of not space compared to what you have, but I have the luxury of space compared to what I'm used to. Yeah. And I'm just going to pack it and tread softly and figure this out.
That's exactly what you should do. I'm telling you to get another space and do it bigger. I don't know.
Well, I have. All right. So, all right, hang on. Before we get really nerdy, let's pay some bills really quick, but audience, stick around, because I'm not going to share what the private conversations are, but there's some big ideas in the conversations. I want to ask Tyler a little bit about, what is going to finally be big enough and enough, which will be pretty neat. And then we could talk about my extra space as well. And we haven't even gotten to Tinley yet. I'm already paying the bills, but we'll do that. Guys, I ship with Redline Shipping. I think you should consider that as well. I choose Redline because of the service and the industrial institutional knowledge that they have. Also the supplies that they can provide for you for your safe shipping of your animals. If you go on their website, there's a phone number you can call. A reptile owner and enthusiast is going to answer that phone and be able to talk you through what you need to do to safely ship your animals. Check out Redline Shipping. Use a promo code PROPER5. Get yourself $5 off of your next shipping label. Shedtesting.com. If you didn't hear me at the very beginning, tomorrow, if you keep an eye on Instagram and some of the socials, there's a pretty cool announcement coming out about shedtesting.com. And then Thursday morning on right here, the Proper Royals channel. If you're here now, you've already made it here. You know how to be here. Thursday morning, check out Proper Royals YouTube channel for a special edition of Proper Royals Live. I'm going to be talking with Charlie Williams from shedtesting.com, as well as I just have to say some other people right now. Stay tuned. There will be a press release tomorrow, which sounds dramatic, but it is warranted. And then we'll pick it all apart Thursday morning. So tune in on that. In the meantime, you can go check out shedtesting.com. The prices have been lowered. You get your results faster. You can build a 10 test panel for $85. That's $8.50 a test, which is pretty screaming deal. So all of those are good things, and I'll just give a little preemptive congratulations to Charlie for this next step that he's taking. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons, you got to check out. That is a different Charlie. That's Charlie Ryan in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons. Right now, he's got some really cool, right now on his Morph Market. This is up to date as of last week. G-Stripe Clown stuff, as well as G-Stripe Clown DG stuff as well. Go check out his Morph Market page on that. And he continues to just be an industry leader in the Krypton project as well. He's also the current reigning undefeated 15 minutes of lame champion. Shout out to Chris Eaton. If you've made it this far in this episode, Chris, I hope you're doing well. Can't wait to see you back in the chair and in the saddle soon. But in the meantime, go check out Charlie Ryan at Reagan Renee Royal Pythons on Morph Market. Portuguese Pythons, that's Danny and Renee Rocha out of Chino, California. Great people that I've been doing business with for, this is going to mark 2 years now that I've been doing business with them. All of my Ultramel Pied project ingredients are from them, and they're starting to hatch this year. So I'm very excited about that. But they're doing amazing things in Ultramel, Ultramel Puzzle, Ultramel Clown, Ultramel Pied, as well as Ultramel Hypo projects. And then they do have other cool stuff like a Sunset Hypo project. All of these ingredients are on their Morph Market right now. And my particular favorites are either the super dark genes like Blackhead, Het Red Xanthic that they put into Ultramel, or they mix and match it with some of the Bell Complex genes, and which really just turns Ultramel neon. So anyway, go check out Danny and Renee Rocha at Portuguese Pythons. Sundog Serpents, that's Sarah and Josh. They're down in Orlando. I've known them for, I forget how long I've been gone from Florida already. I've already passed 2 years that I've lived here in Minnesota, but I used to vend with Sarah and Josh down in the Repticon circuit down in Florida. I've bought animals from them. I've sold animals to them. We've supported each other along the way, and they are doing super cool stuff. If you like asphalt and super asphalt, check that out. If you like some puzzle stuff, you can check that out. And they are one of the few people that I know working TSK Clown stuff as well. All of those projects and ingredients are on their Morph Market now, or you can follow them on Instagram. Last but not least is Chris at BNS Reptilia, the original advertising partner for Proper Royals. I'm so grateful to still be doing business with Chris. Speaking of business with Chris, I will be at Tinley with him. He's my partner at Tinley, October Tinley. We always vend together. I think he got another table too. So, I mean, he might be bopping back and forth. But come see us at Tinley. And we own some animals together, one of which is a rainbow clown, which we only know of 2 that exist. We will have that female at Tinley. If you want to check out a rainbow clown, come to the booth, come see it, see what's up. Chris's BNS Reptilia, because along with ball pythons, he deals with blood pythons, locality, boas, colubrids of all shapes and sizes, including the Pituophis bull snakes and pine snakes. He will have the permits, the knowledge, and the education to make sure that you are well equipped to purchase those if you would like to. Come see Chris. Audience, thank you very much. I couldn't do this without you. Every week, I wouldn't do it without you. It doesn't make any sense not to do or to not have an audience. So thanks. I've been at this a little while now, and I'm a little more grateful every week that I get to say that. So thank you very much. If you're just joining us, hanging out with Tyler from Tyler's Toxic Balls. And we've been talking business education and background. It's worth going all the way back to the start and rewatching if you haven't seen the full episode. I hope that you will. Let's see. Tyler, you said I should find more space and I should blow up rodents even more. So from my own transparent business situation, I still got to figure out if this car wash is like rodents, I know my numbers on. The car wash, I still don't know my numbers on. I haven't been through a full season, a full year of seasonality in Minnesota. And you can imagine anything dealing with hot water in a Minnesota winter has some ups and downs and seasonality to it. So I still got to get everything together on that.
Yep.
I will tell you, if this time next year I haven't grown that business significantly, yes, I'll be looking at convert. I have 2 more bays that I could convert. So the car wash has 3 bays and an outdoor one, which doesn't do any good for growing rodents, but 3 or snakes for that matter. But I've converted one of the 3 bays. So 30% of it I've converted to reptile rodent space. I still have 2/3 of it, and I own the building outright. It's mine. I can do, and it's zoned commercial and it's legal up and up. And I'm coming up on the 1-year mark of being able to tell the town, hey, I've had reptiles and rodents in here. No problems, nary a complaint, out of my way.
Congratulations on that, by the way. I think I tell
you
almost every time I talk to you, but that's awesome. And I'm just joking with you. I mean, do what you want to do, expand as much as you want to expand. But no, that's huge. So congratulations on that, man. It's been crazy to listen and watch year-long journey of, oh, maybe I do want a car wash. I want something. What do I do? Talking even before you got this one, we talked about a different building you were looking at.
Yeah.
Underground elevator to get there. I'm like, ooh, that's tough. Whatever.
Yeah, that one, it was really cool, but it wasn't. To boil all this down for the audience, the secret weapon for me has been buying a building that has an existing business that I actually can run. That has made it all possible. I don't know what kind of madman I would be. I'd be a wreck right now if I didn't have the existing business, to be honest with you, because as fast as I tried to move and as big as hard as I work, some things just don't come together fast enough. Where I'm at on rodents, I thought I'd be there way sooner. In my mind, I thought I would have been there 6 months ago. And Mother Nature's going to do just things happen. There's learning curves that you don't realize. And man, if I hadn't even what I'm complaining about of the car wash business, if I didn't have that business, I don't know. I'd be selling my soul or something else. I don't know what I'd be selling, but it would be
something.
Yeah, it'd be tough. So anyhow, you never know. The balls are up in the air on which way I'll go. Because honestly, if the car wash business could grow, 20-30% is a massive percentage to just up and grow. Yeah. On the other hand, it's only $1.50 a wash. So I could go pretty quickly. Like sometimes percentage is a big jump and other times it's 50 cents. It's still a screaming deal. So if I could grow at 30% in the next year, I won't ever touch it. I'll use that money and go buy another building just for rodents, and I'll expand the existing conversion to just reptiles. So anyhow, that's my story, not yours. I alluded to it earlier. I won't get specific. You have floated some pretty massive ideas just conversationally across the telephone line. Not that we use telephone lines anymore, but what's the goal for you? Why take on more and more? Where's the old, like, hey, I got it pretty good here. Let me just like make this work and really polish up what I got and really, really fine tune what I got versus rocket ship stuff.
Yeah, I think this is gonna speak to what we talked about, I think, earlier this week, where it's like, don't be afraid to share your ideas, I guess, because only a few people, no one's gonna take advantage of it. So we'll see how that works here.
Yeah.
But no, my whole thing is, technically, I guess I've been in the rodent industry for 5 years, 6 years, working for a company for over a year who did large scale rodent producing, and then now doing it myself at a small scale and now at a large scale for a few years. There's a lot of stuff that people, I guess, like I used to be, or who are ball python breeders, most of us, who, breed rats, right? Mm-hmm. And now I've completely switched to a rodent breeder who also breeds snakes. And there's a lot of things when you look at it that way, that can kind of blow your mind, right? So the amount of demand there is just in this local market that I'm at, right? And then I hear, I do a North Carolina show with rodents, and I hear all of these people going, I had a customer this week. When are you going to be back in North Carolina? We don't have anyone here, right? And I told them, actually, funny enough, my next place I would love to open a facility would be North Carolina, right? Fredericksburg, Virginia, same thing, right? So there's a nationwide shortage of rodents.
It's really crazy. And I only interrupt you because today I got 2 inquiries from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hey, I bought a snake from you last week. I can't find rodents. Yeah. Where do you get rodents? And it would be an opportune time to say, boom, get them from Cold Blooded Cafe. But somebody that owns one ball python might not be the best customer for Cold Blooded Cafe. They're aimed a little bit more to bulk sale to somebody who's got 8 or 10 that can, it doesn't, the math doesn't math very well if you need 2 rodents a week or a month kind of deal to buy the big package. So like, I'm actually actively trying to find somebody who has rodents in Sioux Falls, because these customers aren't going to have a good experience, and they're not going to tell other people to come have a good experience from this show if we can't figure out how to get them rodents.
Yeah. And again, Dale just said something that I've heard for months now, that Florida was really bad. Florida was bad. I heard Georgia was, a lot of the southern states were struggling. And trust me, I know
my production in Minnesota suffered from the heat this summer. I can only imagine what they went through in Florida.
I mean, me too. Honestly, I think our big saving grace was our facility has air conditioning, which is huge. A lot of rodent facilities that I know of are kind of the wind tunnel method, and that's what we were going to do. Big fans, big outlets on the end, right? And just turn it over.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who run that system, and they go, hey, I lost 30, 40, 60% of my kind of stock this summer, and I felt horrible. We lost probably 5 to 10%, and we're able to restock it in a week because of just what we were producing. We didn't lose too much. It sucked to go, oh, well, about a female in every breeder colony died, but we got 600 females sitting in the grow out rack, just toss them back in, right?
Yeah.
But hearing horror stories of that from people in PA, Florida, Georgia, all across the country, like, damn. So now I know. That's one thing I've learned. Hey, it's more expensive, and it does this and it does that. Every single facility from now on that I open or want to do it's going to be AC, right? Mm-hmm. Whether I use it for a month, I don't use it at all, or I use it for 3 months a year, right? It can turn a 60% loss into a 10% loss.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to look at it. Like most smaller facilities could probably handle but a mini split like I have on the wall could handle most of it. And even if you get it professionally installed and it's a few $1,000s, like the no sales I could do for a few months this summer, I would have done $3,000 in those sales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And more probably. And that's the other thing. If people come to buy rats from me or ASFs from me, right over there's the whole rack of ball pythons. Why don't you have a little look over there? You know what I mean? It kind of nice things happen with that.
Yeah, but so I guess back to the main question. I keep going on tangents. There's a huge scaling factor in the rodents right now. Obviously, we've seen it in the chat. We just talked about it. People need rodents. So my goal long term is to build up this facility that we have here. It's big right now. We got 7,500 square foot, not close to full.
I was going to ask, because you talked about building racks pretty regularly. So talk about where you're at on the capacity.
Yeah, so we have, I don't even know, 50 some odd racks of rats, mice, and ASFs. Right, a little over 1,000 colonies of rats, hundreds of colonies of mice, and only 60 colonies of ASFs. I don't do too many of them. But we can fit another 100 some odd racks in this side of the building. So we're trying to build. It depends on the week and when we're out of town, obviously, show schedule wise. But we built 2 racks this week. Last week. This week's going to be nothing. We're in Tinley, and trying to build a couple racks a week is great to fill that up. And in February, we should have the opportunity to double our space in this facility to 14,500 square foot and fill. Yeah.
Do you own it? Are you renting it? What do you do?
Right now we're renting, and it's a 14,500 square foot facility. There's a concrete wall right down the middle of it, and there's a plumbing company that pretty much just uses it as storage for hot water heater tanks and all the stuff like that. They show up in the morning, load their vans, and leave, and I don't see them until the end of the day. But apparently they're probably not renewing next year. So we're thinking.
Is it because they have a rat farmer as a neighbor?
No, they actually.
Sorry, that's a genuine question, but it's kind of funny.
Right when we moved in, that's kind of what our landlord said. And actually, the guy who has the other half of the building is our landlord's brother-in-law. Okay. He said, would you guys be interested in it before we even signed the lease? And so we got the right of first refusal on that right when we signed the lease. But no, they actually like it. They were like, can we bring our kids over here to check it out?
Oh, cool. Good.
So we could pretty much double our breeding space in that side of the building, fill that up. Hopefully, my goal is to have at least a 7,500 square foot space full in the next 6 months. And then fill that other side up within the year of getting it. It's, it's all it's not even a bell curve. It's exponential on the rodents, right? One produces 10, you hold back the 10, they produce whatever, 100 or 1,000, right?
Right. Yeah.
So they produce 100, whatever it is. Right. So if you really hone in and go, I'm going to make these 10 racks just for holdbacks. I'm not selling anything out of them. They're just holdback females, and you sell the males. Then you can fill up a building pretty quick if you got the racks for them. That's where we're at right now, where we have a lot of production. We're in the, hey, we can't build these racks quick enough to meet the demand, to fill the building, all this stuff. But it's to fill that building and then obviously see how it goes. And we have a couple other opportunities on the table that we've talked about, privately, to go take over another facility not across the country, but actually Dale in Florida.
Wait, breaking news. You're taking Dale's facility?
No, not Dale's facility, but the one in Florida. Gotcha. Maybe help you out, Dale. But, those kind of opportunities. And I struggle, kind of like what you said earlier. Hey, let's just get to this spot and see how it goes and coast.
Right.
The way I'm at right now, I'm logical. I know, hey, I want to get to there and I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. But that's me right now. When we're running a 14,000 square foot facility, maybe I do go, hey, this is enough. But deep down, I have a feeling, just the way I know myself, that it won't be. So, Dale, we could talk about that sometime.
Right. Yeah. That's
a whole nother thing.
Yeah. That's not for Proper Royals Live right there, my friend.
Yeah. But yeah. So just scaling up our facility, potentially taking over a facility in Florida, but also kind of like I mentioned earlier, opening my goal, the company we started, right, is regional rodent distributors. That company bought Fuzzy Acres. It's under regional rodent distributors, right? And the reason I named it that was my long-term plan was to have 10, 20, 30 facilities across the country, relatively good size, for a region, right? It sounds like a small company, right? When I actually told Tom the name, he was like, national rodent distributor sounds great. But I don't want it to be that. I want it to be regional, right? So we're going to place these, facilities across the country to service New York, right? Or to service South Florida. Again, they're all going to be under this one, hopefully, big company, but it still has that almost small feeling name, because that's what we want to do, is help these regional local people with their rodent supply. Because again, I'm looking at it from I have hundreds of snakes. I know how important it is. And hey, this rodent producers, the problems, they're not consistent. So how do we try and make it a consistent flow of rodents so Dale can feed his snakes every week or twice a week if that's what he wants to do? And there's a lot of other nuances, and you could sell to this company and sell to this company and whatever. But my long-term goal is just, why can people not feed their animals? Why can they not find the stuff? Like, I have a pet supply chain, 20 stores, and they got bulletin boards right on their front door. Or, not bulletin boards, papers. We have no live rodents. So I'm in talks with them, like right at the front door. They can't get them.
Yeah. It's like a screaming, like, here's a problem to solve. Like it's like,
yeah,
day 101 of business. What problem are you solving? Yeah, it's right there, screaming it.
Yeah. And again, I've talked to many people who've done it for a long time, and this is why it doesn't scare me as much. But to be successful in the rodents, you have to do it at a large scale, right? 2 racks won't do it. Hundreds of racks will, and who's gonna do that? And if it's no one, and it seems like there's people, but not enough people are doing that, then I'm looking at it as a, first off, business opportunity, but also it is the lifeblood of the thing that I'm very, very, very passionate about, the snakes, right? And the 2 things I love most in life, 3, family, snakes, and business, right? Just business in general, right? All those things. And these 2, actually all 3, play together in what I'm doing in my day-to-day life. So, it's awesome.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Let's see. We've cooked all the way through this, and I could continue to stay on this topic, but we got a pretty big event right on the horizon coming around. What does Tinley look like for you? What do you guys have going on for Tinley? Talk about that.
Yeah. So super excited this year. We're actually vending Tinley. This is our second time doing it. A local breeder of ours who's done Tinley for 15 years decided he doesn't want to do Octobers anymore. So we're taking over his table, I think, in Octobers from now on, which is great.
Cool.
But the first time I did Tinley, I was sick for Saturday. I was puking my brains out all day. So hopefully this one goes better, and I can actually be there. We're bringing 4 cases worth of balls, and doing some rodent deals at Tinley as well, some live and some frozen rodent deliveries and drop-offs that we've done a couple of them before to some new customers here too, which is great. But yeah, super excited to be able to vend Tinley this time around. I've gone for 4 years. It's kind of stressful, especially, I think we've talked before about, hey, yep, you're out of the rodent facility for 3 days, but
yeah. We'll talk about, you got, okay. So even if you got a third of, you got 2,500 square feet of rodent facility. Do you have employees? Do you have other people coming in? Are you a one-man show in there? What are you doing?
Yeah. So when we're out of town, I got a part-time employee who usually comes in a couple times a week, a few hours here and there. He pretty much goes in, makes sure everything's fed, water, checks for floods, not everything, right? And maybe you'll clean some stuff here and there. Usually it's just you put in a lot of work the week before and a lot of work the week after, but he makes sure everything's, alive and well and nothing goes crazy. But that's been the biggest kind of change for us this year. At the end of last year, actually, we started to go to these shows on Thursday, a day before, and get in and spend the night in a hotel, wake up late, and be 20 minutes away from the show set up. It's way less stressful. Now we can't do that, right? 3 days out of the shop is bad enough. 4 is way worse. So figuring out the logistics of that is fun, but I love doing shows. So trying to keep that a part of the business of, doing shows where I don't do rats. Hey, is it worth it? Doing shows that are X amount of hours away for a drive. Is it worth it? And that's something I'm trying to figure out right now, where hey, if there's not X amount of people through the door, we're actually doing Denver All-American Reptile and Plant Expo, which is a huge drive, huge show.
Yeah, Rochester. I mean, that's a long way from Minneapolis, and you're still day and a half, 2 days from Minneapolis, man.
So yeah, it's about a 23-hour drive to Denver. But after really sitting, and we did Fredericksburg, right? So I said, this is how I figured it out. How many people come through the door at Denver? About 2,000 more that came in Fredericksburg. All right, if we take the percentage of people, the amount of orders we did at Fredericksburg, and just the same
extrapolate it from there. Yeah.
And there was 2 other rodent vendors at Fredericksburg. So you do the math and go, this is how many people they need through the door, which would equate to this amount of sales, which, hey, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days, not at the shop. Hey, it's worth it. It's not worth it. And we said, hey, it is. And if it is, then great. And if it's not, then, we just won't do it again. But those are, again, the things you and I and other people have to think about before, especially with the rodents compared to the snakes, right?
Man, it is a boring drive from the Mississippi River to Denver.
We'll see.
In some ways, there's nothing, and in other ways, there is so much, man. And it's all rolled into one, man.
It's going to be interesting. It's my first time out there, really, west.
And that'll be the April show you're going to do?
Nope, in 2 weeks. So
the October show you're doing.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I'm going to miss that. I won't be at that one. I couldn't make that because I'm booked in other places, but that's a great show. That's the first, I've been to all of them except for this one coming up.
Yeah. It's a crazy month. Yeah. We got Tinley next week. We got a local show, then Denver, then a local show. So it's a crazy 4 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, very cool, man. I wish I was going to be there. Like I say, I'm normally out there with Redline, but that weekend it's actually 2 shows. It's Fargo and Hastings the next day for me. And I make a little bit doing the advertising stuff, but if I could be selling my own snakes and building my brand and building my own regional market, I need to be doing that. So I can't party all the time,
Yeah. 100%. That's a huge thing, actually. For Denver, we're only doing rodents. We have no snakes there.
Wow.
Which is, again, that's another thing we had to think about. And they said, hey, I don't know if I should make this public, but we got 80 people on a wait list and they have no rodent vendor there. So they said, hey, if you can rodent vend, be the rodent vendor at this show, the next table we have open up, we'll add 1 table so you could also bring snakes too, which I think is a fair deal. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm pissing anyone off. Sorry. But that's, that was a whole nother avenue. Like, hey, yep. If rodents, hopefully so far, have never really done bad at a show. But hey, if the rodents do bad, hey, maybe you can make it up on the snakes and vice versa. But having your pigeonhole, hey, you only got these. Same thing with Tinley, right? Is we only got snakes. We don't have the rats to kind of fall back on.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you so to Denver, will you take live and frozen out there?
No, we I might have to talk to Troy. We do no live rodents at any of the shows we vend.
Gotcha. Okay.
You could imagine, most people could imagine especially 22. I don't even do them for the show 40 minutes down the road, but a 23-hour drive with the live rodents would be a headache. 100%. And this is the same thing I do with every show. If you're in Denver, going to Denver, and you want a pickup of lives, they need to be pre-sold. So I'll bring them, but they need to be pre-sold.
Yeah, you got to be paid off. Yeah.
It's the pre-sold, or I trust you enough to go, hey, I want 200 small rats. I'll pay you there, right? Cool, I'll bring them. But it'd be tough to bring, hundreds of each size of this or whatever, and go, oh, well, I sold 7 live rats.
Right.
And all back.
Sorry, I was just chuckling a minute ago, just from getting pulled over, or like me, I'm allergic to these things. Like if I got 1,000 ASFs in a minivan, like I'm going to have like a gas mask on. Not to mention, I'm sure that there's certain legalities of states that you go through with certain, I feel like going through this hassle, like there's movies from the 70s about dudes that did this with planes and much higher priced contraband, so to speak.
Probably.
Yeah. Stay with the frozen, man. Just do that. Yeah. Just take the frozen.
Again, I'll bring the lives. They got to be pre-sold. And it's the same thing even for, the show I do in Rochester, or, hey, you tell me you want lives at a show. My shop's 10 minutes away. Just meet me there tomorrow.
I bring them locally, but I bring them more as an advertisement, just so I can do just what you said of, if somebody's like, hey, I need 50, I'm like, I got these 10, but my shop it's 20 minutes down the road. Here's the card. Call me because we need to talk about what you need on it. If you buy 10 from me once, so you're going to buy 10 from me every week or every 2 weeks. Let's figure this out before I, become your guy kind of deal.
And I don't want to keep going too crazy on it, but being a snake breeder and a snake vendor for 4+ years longer than I've been doing the rodents, I know the pain it is to be sat next to a live rodent vendor. It is horrible.
No, gross.
If you're interested in a snake, pay me. You could take it out. I don't want you to get bit and go, it's horrible.
Right.
So I just, looking at it from the other side, it's just, I don't want to. At Dallas, we were right across from the live rodent vendor, and it was stinky, and the snakes were always alert. I don't want to do that to any other vendors at the show. Right?
That's a fair point. There's a pet show here that I do, and I got stuck next to a bird, like a dove pigeon thing.
Yeah.
Their seeds were everywhere. Their feathers everywhere. They stunk. I was like, I went to the promoter. I was like, I'll pay the extra. Put me on the wall. I do not want to be on an island with anybody around me anymore. I'm done with that. Yeah. All good points, man. What are you looking to pick up anything, like to get back to just like nerdy snake roots? Like, what are you after? What projects you excited for these days? What are you looking to see? Like, what's all the stuff that people go to Tinley for that has you going?
Yeah, I'm actually at almost the opposite of the rats on the snake side. I'm downsizing better looking to downsize and really focus in on my projects. Right. Mm-hmm. So the big one I'm always looking for and interested in is Monarch.
Okay.
We have a good amount of Monarch stuff. Produced my first Monarch Pieds this year. Our cool. Monarch Clown Boy is ready to breed this season. So a lot of the stuff we've been purchasing the last year or two is up to size, and we'll be producing, some Monarch stuff, a lot more Monarch stuff this coming season, but we still have some cool stuff we could make this year. And then honestly focus on, I'm working a Dinker gene right now called Toxic, and it's made some pretty good headways from what I've worked it in, and there's one other breeder who has it, Will and Audra from Flawless
Oh,
Exotic.
cool.
We've made some pretty decent, cool looking stuff right now. Haven't really released any. I'm planning on bringing about a case full of it to Tinley. All are not really going to be for sale, just to kind of show it off.
I heard the hesitation there. I heard a little stutter there. Go ahead. That's all right. Go ahead.
It's struggling. It's tough working a Dinker project and going, I got 12 breeder males with this thing in it. Like,
right.
But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm at about 140-ish breeder females. I think I'm hoping to get that down to about 60-ish. It's a little bit more manageable, and heavily focus on the toxic gene work, the monarch stuff and even that it's going to be monarch clown pied, monarch hypopied, monarch G-stripe clown, but all the stuff. So I got to keep other things too, but get rid of some of a lot of the odds and ends where even now I can still go, I got a normal pied female, I'll breed it to a XYZ pied male and wholesale the whole clutch to a pet store and go, well, that's that, right? But honestly, trying to step away from that a bit, especially with how well the rodent thing is going, focus a lot more of my time here on the things I really love and enjoy. Almost not turning it back to a hobby, but still looking at it business wise, but being very, very focused on what I'm doing here, just to make it a lot more manageable, having I got 400 or 500 snakes here right now. So
I think, doing this show for as long as I have now and having as many different guests, one of the things pretty consistently is every certain amount of time, 5, 7, 8 years, most breeders go, things gotten out of hand. Doesn't mean they're getting out. It doesn't mean that they don't want to be just as big as they are, but they want to be refocused and they want to bring it back in, move forward. And then in 5 or 7 years, those guardrails will have widened a little bit and they'll go, this is out of hand. Let's tighten this back up again. And that is one of the most consistent things that I hear, and that we see through the hobby as well. Well, very cool. The most difficult question perhaps to answer, how do people get to your table at Tinley? Where do they find you?
Oh my God.
This harder than rodent math, right?
It's horrible, especially with where I'm at. I'm not in an easy spot like you. This is actually, everyone knows where Adeline Robinson is roughly. We're right behind her.
Okay. All right. There you go.
We're backed up to her on the aisle behind her, kind of. So, it's tough. I can't go all the way back, all the way left like you.
That's right, man. All the way back, all the way left. They thought they were doing me dirty by putting me in the back corner, but I could tell people right where I'm at, man. That's it.
I can't be.
I should make shirts that say that, shouldn't I?
You should. That should be on your jersey.
Actually, it should be. Yeah.
Proper Royals.
It's too late now. All right. Springtime, we're going to have all the way back, all the way left t-shirts, man.
I love it. Get me fun.
Well, cool. I look forward to seeing you there. You're getting in. So did you say you're getting in on Friday this time instead of Thursday? You're coming in Friday?
Yeah, we'll be there Friday shooting for around noonish.
Yeah. Yeah. Same for me. I roll in Friday. Now I do stay till Monday morning just because I'm beat and I'm a one-man show. It's not very safe for me to drive home Sunday after the exhaustion of the week. So, well, Tyler, I appreciate it. Be safe. I know you got lots of precious cargo, and that's a long drive. How long is the drive from Rochester for you?
It's 9-ish hours.
Not as bad as I thought.
No,
okay.
It's not horrible. 9-ish with the time change too. So
yeah. Okay. Very cool. Well, safe travels. Thanks for doing the show. People, audience don't know, it was a little bit short notice. It's been a hectic time for me. And then we got Tinley on the horizon, but it's great to catch up. Don't wait 2 years. We can't fit everything you've got going on in 2 year spans on 1 hour and a half, 1.5 hour segments. So you got to come back. All right.
Oh, 100%. No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
My pleasure. It's genuinely, I'm happy to. And like I say, I can't believe it had been this long, but stick around for just a second. We'll hang out a little bit. Guys, Tinley, come hang out, find Adeline Robinson's art booth. And then right around there, you'll find Tyler. And then if you want to hang out with me, as Tyler said, go all the way back, go all the way left. You'll see me and Chris. We'll be there around noon on Friday, and we'll be fully set up for VIP. We got the jerseys. If you placed a custom order, it's ready to pick up. If I need to ship it to you, it's on its way. I'm going to try and get those out tomorrow. And otherwise, come see some snakes. Come see Chris. Come see a rainbow clown. And I don't know, come have fun. Just do all the good stuff. So see you guys soon. And Tyler, I'm sorry, where can people find you? Give it a flex a little bit there, man.
Tyler Toxic Balls on Instagram, tylertoxicballs.com, and fuzzyacres.com for the rodents. Hopefully Cold-Blooded Cafe doesn't slap you around for that.
Absolutely not.
And it's really it. You can find my phone number, I think, on fuzzyacres.com too, if you want my cell. So
very cool. Guys, give Tyler some support, and I will see you all next time. Same place, same time. See you at Tinley, hopefully. Thanks, Tyler. See ya.